click track.
Oh yeah.
The beauty of silence.
I was just about to get out these,
Oh my goodness.
but I broke both of them. And they probably won't fit on your head right now.
But I can always dream. Actually, if I put it like this.
Oh no, that works. It's like a visor. So we've got these cardboard visors that are in shape of Eevee's head from.
Let's go Eevee.
Let's go Eevee. Let's go Pikachu because I went to PAX.
That's right. Little do you know that our humble little Carlton-based gamers podcast actually has PAX coverage.
We have PAX coverage.
This is the episode where one of us went to PAX.
This is legit. We are legit. We are industry. We went in. I went solo. It was a solo mission.
Bren was doing Renaissance. I was at HQ. I
was doing a
boxes.
Renaissance LARPing challenge, and I accidentally went past the convention center and saw some cosplayers who I thought were fellow LARPers, but it was just 10 people dressed as The Witcher.
Oh, were they all trying to have sex with each other?
Everyone there is horny. The smell of pheromones is very strong at PAX.
Yeah, it's like, I always imagine, I've never been to like a gaming convention, but I always imagine it as like stumbling into like a basement where like the circle jerk is on its 10th rotation.
Oh my god, the social ineptitude of these human beings is intolerable, mostly. Some of them are okay.
Oh shit, yeah, this is Fakest Gamer Girls, by the way.
Oh, this is Fakest Gamer Girls. I'm Brennan.
I'm Romy. And now back to our official PAX coverage.
So I went to PAX on Sunday, which is like 2 days ago.
And you got in for free, you said?
I did. I don't have any money, as usual, so I waited out the front and asked people for their passes, which most people were incredibly reluctant to
Was
do.
this as they were going home for the day?
Yes. I think people want to collect the badges or collect the...
Oh, there's like, with like game convention culture, there's like a heavy emphasis on the acquisition of knickknacks.
High knickknack acquisition.
It's like an RPG character that's like, their pockets are just filled with random items that they've picked up. They take that mentality and they run with it.
Right, so they've kind of like manifested this like RPG
situation.
Situation where they need to collect all the badges over time to harness the ultimate power.
Kudos and Kupo for getting a pass though.
It was okay. I waited. I went with two people I didn't know too well, but they were on Instagram and also were going. So shout out to Ramona and Scab Sniffer.
Yeah, shout out to those two people.
They were fine. They were nice. Anyway, and then I found some guy and asked for some passes, and him and his 3 friends, a Dark World version of us,
Yeah.
from Wollongong, handed them over, and then we waltzed inside.
That's amazing.
It was a great feeling getting in. It kind of reminded me of going to Berghain, actually.
So, like, was it the Berghain of Melbourne?
It was the Berghain of Melbourne. There were a lot of bears, I'll tell you.
So, like, you're in.
I'm in.
You've breached the fortress.
I breached the fortress. I didn't have a wristband, which is a second security check, but I just hit it my sleeve and it was completely fine. So I got
God,
in.
like, fucking people at game conventions are notorious for having long, drapey sleeves anyway.
Where are they going to stick that thing on their cosplay outfit?
It's just like, but like, it's like such a trope. Like, you could probably even get in if you just had like a really big long sleeve t-shirt and then like a tight Pokemon t-shirt over the top.
Yes. They either do that or they just wear like a t-shirt and shorts every single day of the year, no matter if it gets cold or not.
Yeah, it's like 2 streams.
Yeah.
It's like picking like the boy or girl Pokemon trainer.
Yeah, the like slightly emo like kid with a long sleeve top, or like the jumper he's had since he graduated high school in like 2012.
Yeah.
Or the
Shorts
engineering
man.
student's short man with the t-shirt and a backpack who never gets cold.
And like loves the cargo shorts.
Big fan. Well, whatever his mom got him for Christmas, I guess.
True, that's right. I mean, Christmas is New Clothes Day.
I mean, I'm kind of envious of them.
Because they're smart?
No, because they don't really have like a kind of like personal fashion or aesthetic, which really like gripes them or bugs them, so they can just wear whatever they want.
You don't know, though. They could actually look at other people who have like a slightly more.
Well, I suppose they're the most challenged in that situation, actually, because they probably wouldn't feel comfortable outside of those clothing decisions. So probably if they had to wear like a pink tutu or tulle skirt or like a tank top out, they'd probably feel really uncomfortable, whereas I'd feel way more comfortable.
Yeah, I think it's like apples and oranges, but also like I like to imagine, or like I guess I don't like, but like I think that like, or if I was like that, I'd probably be envious of people who can dress as they want or like pull off weird outfits.
Probably. I would be. Well, I was that person.
I think we're all that person at one point in our lives.
Yeah, and then you just
Trans.
then you go trans. You go trans and you wear
Or you go to
all the
art
pretty
school.
things. Yeah, or you have to go to art school and you find yourself competing with all the new aesthetics you have to deal with and how like
I just wore
uncool you feel.
pajamas for my whole first year of art school.
That's really cool of you.
Like, I don't know what the art school scene was like in Melbourne, but there wasn't this like Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Prada.
No crayon.
No crayons. It was like a no crayon zone.
When I went to art school, it was all like C-punk, Tumblr aesthetic.
Oh, me too. Actually, it was heavy C-punk. I was C-punk at one point.
We were all probably C-punk, cyberpunk. During
I
that
mean,
time.
I wore a lot of teal and like a lot of gradient clothing.
I definitely had the blue hair and like probably like platform sandals.
Wow. Can you imagine if we met in uni and started doing this? We'd probably be reviewing vaporwave cassettes.
Still, like, oh yeah, I guess some people wouldn't have let go of that.
No, some people are really holding on. Oh, there's like a little sect, I think, in Sydney that is still holding on to C-punk.
Of course, Sydney are doing that though.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the C-punk capital of Australia.
They like still think like liking pizza is like a personality trait.
That's such a good burn. We're going to need some burn relief.
Some first aid.
Okay, so we need to make like Link in Wind Waker and steer this ship back towards PAX.
Oh, well, you know, all things come back to PAX.
All roads lead to PAX.
Yeah, well, I was inside PAX. I was with my friend. It was a huge open space inside the convention center. To the left of me was the indie section.
Ooh.
So I had a peek at some of the games. Some of them you actually had to pay to play, which is why I felt like it was very industry.
Excuse me? Pay to play? Like, how much money are we talking about?
One of the games, not all of them, and I can't speak for them all, and I'm not an expert or didn't have a pamphlet or anything, but I just witnessed, was $20.
Name and shame.
I don't know. I can't remember any of the indie games' names except Nom Nom Apocalypse and this like heinous like game which I can't remember the name of, that you just like rode this hover bike for this like forest of these trees that would regenerate, and the objective was not to crash.
Do you think they charge pay to play because they're in desperate need of funding to finish the game?
I assumed it was either that or because it was some like in journo thing or something.
Yeah, I wonder how much it costs to like have your game at a booth at PAX. Maybe they're actually trying to recoup their losses because PAX is like this.
Well, the guy with the
conglomerate.
terrible game, which was the whole like aesthetic and design of the title was in Arial font, and looked like it was made in 1995. Said that he made the game for PAX, and that's why it was such bad quality.
You should have probably just made a game for the sake of making a game, right?
Yeah, he was one of the only developers I actually talked to because his booth was so like strange and minimal. Choo Games. Yeah, I can't remember the. His
Shout out
logo
to
was a really funny
the
moose.
minimal PAX gamer with the minimal but amazing dick print on his pants.
Andrew Brophy's Knuckle Sandwich had a booth there.
Did you meet Andrew?
No, I saw him, but I didn't. That was when I first entered, and I didn't realize how chill it was to talk to the developers, and I should have.
You should have rung up and be like, "Hey, we reviewed your demo on our podcast."
Well, because I was busy this week, it's been a week since I've uploaded the last one, and I will upload it, and then you'll be in the future and listening to this, and you will be already listening to the one that I'm saying I'm going to upload, but maybe I'll send it to him. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, why not? No, we should put it on a cassette and like tape that to a rock and throw it through his window.
With a curse.
Yes.
A good curse.
A good curse.
A good curse. A good luck curse.
A good luck curse. Like
Obviously.
you're gonna sell out your game curse.
Exactly. He will. Well, I obviously didn't play that or waste my time lining up because
You've
the
played
demo's
it.
on the internet. What else did I do? I participated in a very embarrassing Fortnite competition.
You didn't.
I
Tell
didn't
me
play
this.
Fortnite. I didn't play Fortnite because I don't really play Fortnite at all, as has been established. But they had a Fortnite dance-off.
Did you have to do the Fortnite dance?
Yes.
You could have brought Fortnite over 40 from the liquor store along with you.
There was enough Fortnite over 40 there to make up for the liquor store guy.
We didn't get served by him today.
We got served by
His friend.
his friend, which is a lot more. He was way more
Final
chill.
Fantasy over 30.
Well, I got served yesterday by his sister, who was on the phone to him, and then her son on hold on speakerphone
That's a lot.
as I bought a bottle of vodka.
We're just worried. I'm worried what one day, because he knows that we do a video game podcast, and he's a gamer, and he's gonna ask us for it, and then he's gonna listen and find out that we call him Fortnite over 40.
He'll love it.
I bet he'll probably that'll be his new Instagram handle.
All media is good media.
Yeah.
You know, he'll be fine.
Just remember that next time you're going to, submit a defamation case to someone. All media is good media.
You heard it here first. All media is good media. If you are fame whoring, I guess. and want
Yeah.
attention.
I guess that's it. So, did you play any games?
I sure did.
Fortnite story, sorry. Did you do the dance?
I did the dance with these two kids and my friend Scab, who I went with. We agreed to go up with these kids, and so you look at this little screen and you're on the stage, but the people can are watching you,
Yeah.
and you're imitating the dances from the game, which all children under 15 are really good at. They know the dances.
Oh yeah, that's their main form of exercise is doing that flossing dance.
They floss, they dab, they
do
do it all.
yeet?
They yeet the fuck out of the place.
Do they do a Millie Rock?
They do the Lindy Hop.
Oh, the Lindy Hop. Did they do the Charleston?
No, that's my generation.
Brennan has been Charlestoning over Melbourne for about 500 years.
Yeah, I was a flapper. I was dancing for. I was a jester for the king. I've done it all.
Did you get any prize?
I did. I got a code for some new skin, which is a painting on.
That's how you got it.
That's how I got it for dancing. They also sent me a GIF of me, so you can't really see me, but I'm in the background of these children.
Okay, you've got to show me that GIF after the podcast.
After the pod, I will show you the GIF.
Excellent.
It's very stupid. So I got that. I'll probably try and sell it. I'll see if it's exclusive to PAX, because I don't really give a shit about the Fortnite
Yeah, people
skin.
go fucking crazy for PAX exclusives.
Hopefully it is, and it's not just some basic
Thing.
thing they give away, but I would definitely hawk it if I can.
Yeah, get enough money for booze.
More booze, a booze cast. So I'll have more sip of beer. And I played the new Super Smash Bros. I lined up.
Oh my god,
I did.
I cannot wait.
Yes. It felt the same as all the others, but
I mean, to be honest, not a lot changes between the games.
no, and I have it on 3DS even, and I never played that one.
True.
Yeah, I never play it really.
I guess it's like Mario Kart. Don't really change that much.
No, I mean, I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Today I found out that the guy who created Super Smash Bros. Also created Kirby.
Well, it's HAL Laboratories, right?
Yeah, but the same director guy.
I guess I did know that.
That's a
maybe.
good track record. Kirby and Super Smash.
Genius. Well, this one is going to be extra special because the roster features everyone.
Yeah, it's a stacked roster. Daisy makes their debut.
Pichu's back.
It's they're really Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, and all the levels are in it.
They're
and
really
all the music.
taking a stride for women's rights and the inclusion of women. There's Dark Samus, just women up the wazoo.
Yeah, I love women up the wazoo.
So do I. So yeah.
It was fun. I just got to play it with my two friends, so I didn't get thrashed by anyone. I did hear a group of guys being like, watch him, trying to kind of I guess watch how the game mechanics are functioning so they could have a really good go. You got 2 rounds.
Oh, cool. Who did you play as?
First round, I played as Sheik.
Oh, true.
That was fun. She's throws things and kind of teleports. And
You're a big fan, judging by one of your fan fictions.
I'm a big fan, definitely, of Sheik and the kind of nature of the transition from Zelda. And then I played as a new character, one of the Ink twins.
Are they from Splatoon?
From Splatoon, yeah.
Are you a fan of Splatoon?
I've never played it. I don't own it. It's one of those games where I'm like, oh, I kind of want to buy that because it looks fun. It's got a big online kind of multiplayer thing.
Yeah, most of the people I know who've got a Switch are Splatoon kiddies.
I would be, but like again, I got to spend my money wisely.
And like these games aren't cheap. I saw today like a pre-owned copy of Splatoon is still like $70.
Switch games don't drop down in price really.
No.
Like if you buy them and then resell them on Gumtree or eBay, you're basically going to get your full money back.
Pretty much.
Like it's really hard to get a cheap version and there's no good deals in the Nintendo store.
On the topic of Switch, I got a Switch today.
You did. You got a Switch. You traded in that dusty ass old PS4.
I did. Got rid of it, made some space in my life, got rid of some clutter.
Oof. Red Dead Redemption, blah.
Ugh, fuck that.
Ugh.
Seriously, like, the dude at the counter was like, he asked us like, oh, are you getting rid of this because you got a PS4 Pro? And I was like, no. And he's like, but what about Red Dead Redemption? And I was just like,
But don't you need those that kind of like horse ball?
just play Zelda. Also, like,
Gravity.
it'll come out on PC eventually.
Yeah.
Also, like, I guess I'm just like not that into like. I think I need a break from like the grizzled male lead open world adventure series because I played The Witcher and I'm just a bit like, yeah, you're a weird, rough, sexy man on a horse. Cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
I want a pot-bellied plumber to rung me a bath at night.
There's no shame. You just want to play Mario Party and have fun with your friends.
It's true.
And he just underestimates the fact that you are a PC gamer and you can...
Oh, I told him I'd built a computer. And then I stared him dead in the eye. I really shouldn't talk shit. He was actually quite nice.
It's fine.
Considering the fact that I was a tangerine tranny in the store today.
You were, weren't you? God, I wish I was there. Well, I enjoyed the first Red Dead, and I've got it, I think, up there. It's fine.
You do.
It's fine. I liked it. I just like... And I want a PS4, but I'm happy to wait for my...
I could have sold you mine.
games. I think I mentioned that, but you needed to trade it in for a Switch.
Well, the thing is, ever since we've been doing this podcast, I've been playing your Switch, and I've been desperate for it. Because the PS4 in my house is only ever used by housemates to watch Netflix on. Like, we just stopped gaming on it entirely because
Just use a HDMI to your laptop.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It was just like, it was literally a glorified Netflix box. And I was like, no, I can get money for this. And yeah, got a Switch for a fairly decent price considering it was new.
No, they're sexy. And a friend that came over was looking at it and they're like, oh, it looks good on that dock. You know what I mean? Looks nice.
Oh, it's like if you've got a gentleman caller from Tinder over and they see that docked Switch by your bed, you better believe that it's going to be a bit of a like...
Don't come a knocking.
Yes, for the Switch is docking.
Yes, love docking.
But yeah, that means that like when Super Smash Bros. Comes out, we could Twitch stream us playing it.
Yeah, look, we'll look into it. Definitely that's something we should do.
Or if like you are listening and you are a Switch owner, send us your code and we'll play a game with you. Because like, why not, right?
We'll set something like that up in the future,
like
I think.
Mario Kart.
Oh, I can't wait. We can race each other Mario Kart from our houses.
Yeah, that's the thing. You could send me a text and be like, what are you doing, bitch? And I'm like, beating your ass in Mario Kart.
That is so fucking exciting. Just to wrap up where I left off, I guess I played Smash Brothers. I lined up, I walked around, saw some things, smelt some things, got some free stuff.
Definitely smelt some things.
Definitely smelt some things. I didn't play the new Resident Evil 2 because I went to a lecture instead.
Yeah,
but
of course you go to PAX and you're like, oh, I need to go to a lecture first. I just need to like get that extra credit.
The lecture was at PAX, so It was all related. But I got my friend who doesn't give a shit about Resident Evil gave me the Resident Evil like kind of file, which is like someone's like Halloweened up and bloodied.
Oh, it's like I thought it was like an art project when I first walked in here.
My Halloween art project.
I thought you were going as a haunted accountant for Halloween.
I wish I could participate in Halloween things. It wasn't working, but I'd definitely use that as like some prop. It's got little fake police files in it, and if you went inside the Resident Evil kind of room, it like was this really thin kind of like Hall of Mirrors type.
So they went
horror
all
vibe.
out.
Yes, and then you went in, and there was like a man behind this like kind of fly screen wide door, and when you went near, he swiped at you.
Fuck.
It was an actor dressed as a zombie.
Imagine if that was your gig. Zombie number 1 at PAX.
Someone's got to do it. He was committed to the role. He didn't break character.
You'd get into it.
Be fun.
I think that would probably be one of the places where it'd be the most fun to do that because I have a
Everyone
feeling
there
that
is
the
acting.
PAX clientele would be really into it.
Everyone is acting. Yeah, everyone is dressed up. Everyone is gonna suspend belief.
It's like a rave, but it's in the middle of the day and all the lights are on and everyone's just high on social anxiety.
And Coke and Red Bull.
The drinks.
I also lined up for the VR area, which had
Did you watch some VR pornography?
I wish. I did see a sexy like Japanese card game with maids, which I got.
Was this when? Because we also moonlight as a radio show
on
on 3CR. In case you don't know,
In case you don't know,
Sweet Dreams, 11
8:55
p.m.
a.m. on Sundays.
Sunday nights, 11 p.m. Tune in to listen to us waffle about music. That was a cheap plug, but go on.
So after this cheap plug, what am I saying? I am talking about the VR.
Butler.
Oh, the Butler. Oh, yeah. There was this card game where it's like butlers and maids, and you like, I don't even remember how you play, but it's like a tabletop game where you like battle your friend with these anime cards, and the point is, it's like you go up levels of love, and you actually like the aim is to have the most cards because then you have the most love power.
That's an interesting because most card games are like destruction and death.
This one is more like
Love capitalism.
love capitalism conquering with a sort of like kind of weird sleazy edge, I guess.
I mean, if it's maids and butlers, it's already immediately got a sleazy.
Well, he said we're not
imperial
sexist
edge.
here. We have butlers too, and ones where they're like German soldiers, and ones where they're like
No, but okay, why
fighting the British.
maids, butlers, and soldiers? Those are all weird roles to have.
Well, I guess the maid one is about like submission.
And the butler is about
I guess that's to counteract any like.
sexism things.
I guess so, because they can say no. You also can seduce the men in the other game.
Can you imagine like having to fuck one of those creators and they keep trying to like put a butler outfit on you?
No,
That'd be horrible.
the person who was describing to me, I would not want to engage in coitus with.
I realized that once I said that, I looked up at you and you just like had like that 1,000-yard stare of just like abject horror.
I was like,
And I apologize. I'm just trying to like, sex sells in podcasting.
sexy baby. Yeah. Wouldn't hide my expression. I forgot I was even making the face. It was resting.
Resting 1,000-yard stare.
What else did I play? Oh, the final thing, I lined up for VR. I eventually got in, and I went and played the Star Trek game where I sat on the helm and 3 other people commanded other
Ooh.
parts of the ship.
Were you the captain?
I wasn't the captain. I was the pilot.
Oh.
I've kind of the controls in your hand could trigger in your palm, so you could see your hands like you were tripping on acid. Like
Yeah.
you're looking at your hands.
Oh, this
you
is
can
like
control the
all
fingers.
VR.
All VR, and you can look
Yeah.
at your legs and look around the ship, and you press.
I've watched a
buttons
few
and
people play that on YouTube.
It
I
could
mean,
be great fun, I guess.
If you're really into Star Trek, that would be amazing.
It was very like solidly trying to be realistic, and to the point that it was difficult and boring, and you had to communicate over speakers with the other people to get them to do anything which will help the ship move. So you all need to
True.
work together. Could be.
Sounds fun.
No, I mean it could be great. I mean, it's not so dissimilar to playing D&D. It's all role playing.
True.
There's objectives in the game, but you all have to work together and communicate. It could be great fun. Not like for me, but
I mean, I really liked Star Trek Discovery, the series that they released on Netflix.
Oh,
Apparently,
yeah.
Star Trek fans hate that one, but I liked it because it had women in it and it was pretty fun.
I
Also-
know that I would really like it if I got into it,
Yeah,
the whole thing, but I'm just not a TV person.
true.
I get really agitated watching TV shows.
I always have to do something else with my hands, like
I'll
draw or write, because I can't
or
focus on one
Text
thing.
or like.
But also,
yeah.
like, that show was like, I'd just broken up with my partner, and it was
Yeah.
like my breakup show.
Yeah,
I always have a breakup show, and my most recent breakup show was Star Trek Discovery.
that's kind of nice. Mine's just default like brain numbing Simpson episodes, I think.
I mean, we always go back to... I fucking watched The Simpsons, like, the first, like, 20 minutes of The Simpsons movie the other day when I was eating food.
That's weird.
Well, it was because I was just flicking through Netflix, and it was there, and I was like, I haven't seen this in forever.
Spider Pig.
It really, like, it's bad. It's a bad time.
Yeah, I watched it a long time ago. It was stupid.
Yeah.
The Sphere, bad plot. How could you have like such a big team of people and like years of quality episodes to draw from and signal and reference, and you just
Because they got rid of all the good writers. Like I watched like a video on YouTube where someone dissected like the entirety of The Simpsons.
Oh, I've seen those.
And it's just like the new group of writers they have right now. They don't write jokes the same way, whereas before it was like jokes that were like split into like 5. It was like consistently funny from the setup to the end. Whereas now it's just like punchline. Whereas before it was like a punchline segmented into 5 pieces.
I understand. So it's like the way that it's like it isn't like a joke, an event happens that like consequence humor. It is kind of like stacked on top of itself. Like
Well, like an example they used was the episode where Bart sells his soul.
yeah,
And there's that scene where he's riding his bike at night to go to Milhouse's like relative's apartment.
he goes to Milhouse's grandmother's house because Milhouse's family's house is like being like fumigated for cockroaches.
And like he's riding his bike and he almost gets hit by a street sweeper. So he like jumps off the bike.
Oh
the
my
street
God.
sweeper
Okay,
rungs over the bike.
Yeah.
Then the bike comes out clean as a whistle. Joke 1.
Yeah.
Falls apart immediately after that when Bart gets on it.
Yeah.
Joke 2. And the street sweeper driver is cackling out the window as he accidentally drives down a subway entrance. Joke 3.
That's so good.
And see, that's like what the human used
Yes,
to be.
he goes down and he's like, "Mwah."
But it was like that like highly like compact humor, whereas like nowadays it would just be like the one punchline.
Some of those early episodes are gag after gag. My favorite episode, which I can't remember the title of, but it's the Union episode.
Oh, classical gas.
Yeah, where Lisa needs braces. It's like you
Dental
hear
plan.
you hear that and you're like, I cannot bear to watch that episode. I've seen it 1,000 times. It is literally the funniest one.
Yeah,
It's also
good.
funny from like a kind of like modern day kind of like socialist kind of aesthetic because it's all about the union and it's it's just fucking
Strikes
gag after
true
gag.
for big lefties like us.
It's a lefty show with kind of right wing kind of.
It's hilarious that it's on
everyone is
Fox.
like everyone's basically Republican in the show except Lisa.
Yeah,
But
but also
it's
they
like-
like shit on Republicans and Fox constantly.
It's a whole commentary on TV, which is kind of funny where to place The Simpsons now because like TV is not a thing anymore. Like TV is over.
Is it? Because what about like Netflix and like Netflix originals? That's like a new form of TV.
It's not the same though. It's not the same as the nuclear family sitting in front of the idiot box, like having no kind of like choice or reign over what they.
True, because
being fed.
it's not time based anymore.
No,
We have,
now
like,
it's about
individuality
now it's about choice and individuality and identity
and ad free, but you pay for your subscription.
and inviting people over and then like fucking them while chilling.
What is wrong with people? Can they not just say like, "Hey, you're cute. Would you like to come over and have sex with me?" I'd much prefer someone said that to me than Netflix.
No,
and
they have
chill.
to kind of awkwardly like peter it out with like
Is that
watching
heterosexual
TV.
culture?
Definitely. Yeah. It should be implied. I need to go to the bathroom.
Should we take
so
a quick
let's
piss
take
break?
a quick piss break, and then when we come back, I'll talk about the lecture I went to, sex addiction and video games.
Cool. And I'm gonna give my report on Watchdogs 2.
Great. See you in a sec.
Bye. both urinated, and now Brennan's just warming up their radio voice with a little bit of vocal technique they picked up at radio training.
Radio training, duckling school. I'm just squeezing my Hitman 2 rubber ducky.
Did you get this at PAX? Is this a PAX item?
This is a PAX little freebie they were giving away.
Okay.
I haven't played Hitman 2, but I assume there's a rubber ducky character.
I've never played it either, but I guess they come into play. This is cool. This is cool merchandise.
It's like a rubber ducky, and it says Hitman 2 on it.
It's white with a red beak.
White with a red beak. It's white all over, but it's got a little like shirt that's also just like white, like kind of like, you know,
embossed
and kind of
red
on it,
tie.
and it's got a red tie, and it's got a barcode on the back.
Yeah, because the hitmen in Hitman have barcodes on the back of their shaved head.
Oh, right. There was also a Hitman 2 shaving booth.
Will they shave your head? Or your face? Or your legs?
Too much. I wish it was legs. I would have fucking rocked, signed right up. No, they're beautiful heads.
Wow. Imagine being that much of the devout fan that you would shave your head at the shaving booth.
Yeah, they had photos of people who just shaved their heads and they looked...
Did they collect their hair for a good cause?
Oh,
Or was there just like... It all went like into a tube, and there's a man backstage just eating all of it.
well, I mean, he's turning it into like a stew or something.
The famous pack stew.
Yeah.
Tell me about this lecture that you got for extra credit.
So the lecture. Actually, I was going to go get the pamphlet to remember what the name really was, but it was something on the lines of sex addiction in video games. It was okay. It was it was the only one I made because it took me so long to get in, and I only went on Sunday. And it was 6 cognitive psychologists, which are they're the annoying ones. They're the ones that do like the kind of lab kind of tests, surveys.
Yeah.
They're the boring ones. They're not the cool ones that go into your brain and like conceptualize and figure funny shit out. They're doing the kind of tests. So all of them were gamers, essentially, or somewhat pro gaming, and I guess they're kind of like objective on the panels to discuss whether the effects of like gaming or using gaming as a stress relief or as a hobby has negative effects on your sociality or personal life.
That's actually pretty interesting.
It was interesting. There were not many questions about sex, which it became a joke because no one wanted to talk about sex, I guess. Or really even sexism, but it was just...
Because video game addiction itself is a big real thing, right?
Well, you can't say it's physically addictive, but you could definitely make an argument that it is like... If you're using it as a coping mechanism...
But if you get like in a rush of endorphins like you do from, say, drugs and alcohol, couldn't you classify that as a physical addiction?
That is true. But as a point that they made, you could do a test to see how addicted you were to gaming the same you could if running or swimming became your like...
Oh, yeah, true.
Your hobby, you know what I mean? If that's what you did every day, and every day you got up at 5 a.m. and swam, and you wouldn't compromise for anyone, and it felt amazing... You could do any kind of test to determine that you were addicted to that activity.
Yeah, true.
So I mean that was kind of interesting. I don't know. All of them had a bias, but so did all the audience. I still could see how playing a game like Farmville or like Battlefield or anything where you have to give a lot of money,
like those games that are like repetitive gameplay that requires consistent spending.
Well, anything that requires spending constantly and like in-game purchases and pay-to-win things, I think
that's a really dark side of gaming right now.
I know. It's slowly being kind of like monitored, but I still think like...
I remember like in Belgium, I think it was, they were like cracking down on it around Star Wars Battlefront 2 and EA games that had heavy loot box things, and they were classified as gambling, but I don't think it really took off in the way it should take off, because it is gambling. And it's gambling for kids.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I know there must be stories of people spending lots of money.
Or like kids getting their parents' credit cards and racking up like 10 grand on like Fortnite skins.
Those are unfortunate cases, I guess. I feel like if you have lots of money and you fucking waste it on in-game purchase in a video game, you're an idiot. But I know people also spend that on like
Drugs?
like art and shit. I don't know, like
Art's different.
art's kind of cool.
But art is like, it's like if you buy art, it's something you own and have.
Yeah.
It has a potential resale value, so it's seen as an investment.
Yeah.
And it's supporting a creator, which I know giving money to video games is technically supporting a creator, but I feel like it's just spending money that's buying nothing. Like it gives you the reward function in your brain of having bought something without having actually bought anything.
Yeah. I agree. Fully. Yeah, I don't like in-game purchases of games. And if anything's being offered as free right now, it's generally not. And I guess like games like Fortnite are trying to be pretty balanced.
Yeah, because I played a little bit of Fortnite and never spent $1, even though people would ridicule me for being a noob or a no skin, as they call them.
No skin.
And I was like, yeah, I'm not spending money to have a skin here.
Like, it's funny how much we talk about it considering how little I care about it. But I had a go and I wanted to get into it, but I did not care and I was not going to spend any money. I guess the other kind of objective of the panel or what their jobs were in each of their individual laboratories or thesis was to work with people who did ratings for video games.
Oh, okay. So determining like...
I guess if they do a controlled
content requires what rating?
Exactly, which are based on these kind of control sessions where they like ask people kind of ethical questions and with their motives in terms of gaming, with gamers and non-gamers, even though they kind of specified that they wouldn't label any of the participants as that because it would create a bias.
Okay.
Yada yada yada, all that boring stuff. It was okay.
I mean, it sounds interesting. If there was like an audio recording online, I'd definitely listen to it.
I saw people recording it and stuff.
I have to see if I can find that. And if I can find that, we should maybe include a link to it.
If we can find it, I will definitely include a link.
So maybe a link, but if there's not a link, we'll just send you a link to a picture of a link.
That is the best we can offer. So you just click on the tiny URL and you might get a link or you might get a link.
It's a loot box.
It's a loot box.
It's the first Fakest Gamer Girls loot box.
What else? I feel like that concludes my PAX experience. I had a balloon sword that I fought a little girl in a Pikachu outfit.
Were you trying to fight because you desperately wanted to be her? I mean, when does someone not want to have a Pikachu outfit?
I don't know, like a Bucks night or something.
Is that when you don't want to have a Pikachu outfit?
I think that's when you don't want a onesie.
Yeah. Onesies are real gay, though. Oh, but Bucks nights aren't always gay.
No, I feel like there was a bit of a onesie resurgence a few years ago, and it was quite violent.
It was a violent onesies resurgence. Actually, I remember when, like, onesies just became, like, a huge thing, and it was, like, the worst part of youth culture really tapped into the onesies.
Yes. It was like beta fidget spinner.
Yeah.
Which
it was like, yeah, the proto fidget spinner crowd.
Yes. Yeah.
Fuck.
Dora the Explorer. No, it wasn't. Was that funny blue alien from Disney? Stitch. There was Stitch ones that were around. Oh my god, Pikachu.
And then just miscellaneous
Zebra.
generic animals.
Yeah.
It was like Australia's version of like festival garb because we're too far removed to appropriate Native American culture.
When I was in Berlin, I saw Light Asylum, and there was like this white chick with Native American headdress, and it was so obscure and weird to actually see it in practice because I'm not a festival person, and Berlin is just this whole other like kind of
you named your daughter Festival.
I did name her Festival LSD, but you know, that's an objective term, festival.
I guess you were going to a lot of Renaissance fairs at the time, and that was a festival.
Yes. It was because of the LARPing.
Granted, though, to see that kind of like cultural appropriation in the wild is quite shocking.
It was just like, obviously it's not my place as a white person to be like offended, but it was just
I mean,
so,
yeah, that's the
like,
thing.
so bizarre to see. I was like, ugh. I'm like, do I tell her? Like, I was like, what? I mean, you know, I hate to fall into this, like, the current year, like, thing, but, like, it is the current year. Come on, like, how do you not just, like, feel like at least, like, kind of, like, researched enough, or, like, how do you have the, like, ghoulies to think that's, like, okay, or, like, even think that, like, aesthetic is actually, like, doing you any favors?
Yeah, because I thought
You
there
look
was
like a knob.
like enough awareness around it, even just through jokes about like lol festival culture, to know how much of like like a massive faux pas,
I think
and B like that it's so not okay for us as white people to appropriate culture like that.
I think it's just these complete dumbasses like associate that headdress with like spiritualism because
Well,
they
it's like the
actually have
psytrance
no
crowd.
soul at all.
Like the super psytrance crowd who are like flat earthers, they're desperate for their vegan weed edibles.
Well, aren't we all?
Not me, really. I'll happily have a dairy-inclusive weed edible, even though I am lactose intolerant.
Maybe I would, even if it was the right circumstance.
Would you freak in it?
I might freaking, you know, I mean, whatever other kind of things I've consumed probably don't come from an ethical place.
True.
I'm going to have to dwell on whether I'd have the non-vegan.
What about the thing that there's no ethics under capitalism?
Well, then I may as well just fucking throw all my shit out the window and call everyone, like, dirty words. And, like, eat just, like...
Dirt.
Dirt.
Cut out the middleman.
Yeah. Mincemeat and dirt fried up with the tears of indigenous American people.
Festival cultures.
Well, it was a bizarre thing to see. How does that relate to what we're talking about?
Your daughter's name is Festival.
My daughter's name is Festival Alice D because I want her to be a drag queen.
And she regularly has playdates with my daughter, Coachella Kombucha.
Much cooler gal and way more popular. Festival's a bit more down to earth.
Yeah, look, I've had to pull Coachella aside a little bit and have talks with her because she is very popular at the Steiner school I sent her to.
Yes.
And, you know, it's getting to her head a little bit. And I'm like, Coachella, sit. You're going to have a talk.
But I'm foresting for berries, Mama.
Okay, enough parenting chat. This is a gaming podcast, not a parenting podcast.
Well, fuck it. So how much Watchdog have you been playing? Tell us all about it.
Fuck it. Tell us about your Watchdog. Okay, so I played like 2 hours of Watchdogs 2, which I think's like not enough to give like, okay, this isn't like going to be a good quality game review that you read on IGN or whatever other rag that you are invested in. Hey.
Sorry, jeez.
But
not at IGN level.
But okay, so I beat the first Watchdogs. I like played it start to finish.
Are the Watchdogs the evil guys or the...
Watchdogs just the name of the game.
Okay.
That's DeadSect is the good guys.
Cool.
Bloom is the bad guys.
Okay.
So I played all of... Because it was like one of the first games I got on PS4. Full circle, because I just sold that PS4 today.
Bye-bye.
So here we go. Anyway, and the first game was... Okay, so the hacking... The story was interesting, or like the gameplay mechanics were interesting, because you can... All the NPCs in the game, you can scan them.
Okay.
And it'll tell you a bit about their personality.
Yep.
So it'll tell you their job, their income, and one fact about them. Mm-hmm. So it'd be like, has a cheese addiction, has a foot fetish, witnessed the murder and didn't report it. So it's like little telling things about people. Mm-hmm. And you can like steal like processing power or money off them with your hacking device, which is like an iPhone or something. Anyway, that was interesting. It felt really open because of that. Like all the NPCs had purpose and they were rarely doubled up. Mm-hmm. But the first game was so grey and drab and dry. It was set in Chicago and you played as this like weird... You know what? If Watch Dogs 1 had come out recently, I would have been like, the second I saw him, I would have been like, oh, he seems like an alt-right dude.
Right.
Dressed like it. acts like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that base stick guy or whatever those like horrible like Trump supporting meme like villains, dress up with a stick and go and fight people.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, that's the first game.
Mm-hmm.
I finished it because it was like interesting and I wanted to play Grand Theft Auto, but it hadn't come out on PS4 yet, so I made do.
Yeah.
So 2.
Mm-hmm.
It came out in like 2016, so it's been a while. But I got it on sale because I paid for it with Ethereum.
Oh, Ethereum, yes.
It is so colorful. It is funny. It is bright.
Ooh.
It is just like sarcastic and like it's like a whole new game. And it's honestly so much fun.
So you're enjoying it?
Yeah, you're in San Francisco. Everything's sunny. There's good music. You play as like this 24-year-old African American guy called Marcus, and like there's like a heavy emphasis on his position as like, a person of color in America in this era, and like it's just fun. Like in the first game, you didn't really have a cast of characters around you. You were kind of a lone wolf.
Yeah.
This, you've got like a whole gang of your dead sec buddies, and you like crack jokes and you hang out with them, and it's just like there's a lot of like little subtle in-jokes and nods to like internet culture.
Yeah.
It's just like...
What is the kind of combat like?
So it's not really a combat game per se.
Okay.
Like you have like a stun gun or you can have guns, but what you normally do is it's like kind of stealthy.
Okay.
Where like your way of combat is like you use like a little like... I'm doing like a lasso motion with my hand right now, but you've got like a ball on a chain, like a mace, that you can use to knock guards and people out. Or what you mostly do is use your hacking device as a combat thing. Like if there's a militia dude or a security guard that's got a grenade, you can activate it wirelessly and cause him to blow up. Or you can like cause a power surge near a guard to stun them. So it's like a lot of environmental sort of stuff. And like, so I've played a few missions where the first mission was a direct reference to the farmer bro.
Okay.
What's his name? The dude that hiked up that HIV medication.
Martin Scully.
Yeah, it's a direct reference to him buying the Wu-Tang Clan album.
Right, that is so funny. Okay.
You and your friends go and just steal a download. Like you download a little sample of this rapper called Bobo Drakes, and then you make a soundboard of his voice and go to in-game Martin, who, but this time it was like the character in the game is like hiking up the price of leukemia medication.
Okay.
And you pretend to be Bobo and sell him this album for $17 million and then like troll him heaps.
Yeah.
And then it's like the end of the mission, you find out that through this scam, he's accidentally donated $17 million to leukemia research.
That is so good.
So it's like a really fun, like that reference to like modern like technology and internet culture, especially around Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
That was really fun. And the next mission I played is like you just steal a car that's like a movie prop from like this like hackers-esque cyberpunk movie.
Yeah.
Which in itself is like a lot of fun. They're like the driving's pretty smooth. The radio's all right. But it's just bright. It's sunny. It's colorful. You can really see a lot.
Wow, it sounds great.
Yeah, I would definitely rate it. It feels like heads and shoulders above the first one.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, you have to come around and play it sometime.
Definitely will. I'm looking outside the window being like, wow, imagine being in a game where it's so bright and sunny.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like what it's like outside now.
Wow. But we're not going to like steal a car or like...
Yeah, or we're not super hackers that can like steal $50 off people wirelessly as we walk past them.
Damn.
I know, right?
What I would do to be a super hacker.
But it's also like a little like stimulation overload in places.
Right, okay.
Like it's kind of like, it's got like a weird like, everything's flashy and glittery and like that kind of hacker graphics sort of thing. It can be like, for me, excuse me, with like my late 20s brain, it can be slightly headachy.
Right, okay. It's a bit, overstimulating.
Yeah, but like also like another character who's like a politician is a trans woman of color.
Shit, they really like
and
ticking
she's
a lot of like controversial boxes.
and like her mission is like you're helping her take down New Dawn, which is a take on Scientology.
That is so funny.
So it's like a lot of these things. Like I feel like if you're any kind of like internet activist, ticks actually ticks a lot of your boxes.
So it's a huge kind of like lefty.
Oh, it's like
thing.
it's a massive like it's quite. All the characters are like pretty stern, technology-based anarchists.
Do you have any knowledge of how that was kind of proceed through the kind of like gaming's right?
No.
All right.
Sorry.
No, I don't know. I mean, that's not what we do. But
That's
like,
a good question, though. I wish I had a good answer.
I mean, I'm sure it spurred some sort of like debate or.
It's interesting, though, because it's a Ubisoft game. So they're a AAA, like it's a AAA title. Like this isn't like a little radical corporation that's made it. This is like the big guys, your Assassin's Creeds.
Do you think identity politics sells?
Definitely.
And that's
Well, I think like there's like
not to be cynical, but
no, but I mean we have to be real about performative inclusivity.
yeah.
I mean I think we've probably both faced it as trans people in like the art and music scene here in Melbourne, that there is performative inclusivity, and like you can only imagine how much more intense it would be if you're also a person of color.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely like to me though, like it felt comforting, or it kind of felt a little bit like whoever was developing this game really took a look at like beyond the typical straight cis white male gamer and tried to branch out a little bit, because it feels like, because you've got this like eclectic cast, it feels more real world. It feels fleshed out. It feels like you can actually picture this happening, whereas like some games you're just like, yeah, I'm just white dude. Everyone around me is an NPC. This feels really fake.
Yeah.
This a little bit different.
Okay, that's cool.
And like yeah, because like there's Horatio, who's another African American person in your team. I can't remember any of the other names, but there's a girl who's in the team as well. There's this guy Wrench who like always wears a mask with like pixel art for his eyes and stuff. Like he's like an anarchist that's wearing like his version of like a tech balaclava.
Not like a Guy Fawkes mask.
No, yeah. And then there's another character whose name I forget, but he has Asperger's syndrome. And like part of the story is based on how under Bloom, which is like the technology conglomerate, which is like turning all the cities into smart cities, deemed him unemployable because of his Asperger's, whereas like they take him under their wing and use his like incredible intelligence to take down the corporation that was trying to fuck him over.
Wow.
So there's like, yeah, it's a solid game.
Wow. It sounds great.
I mean, I've only played a little bit of it, but I'd give it my patented 4 boners out of 5.
Wow, that's a lot of boners.
It's a lot of boners.
If only it was unswitched.
I know, right?
I mean, is it probably on Mac, maybe?
Yeah.
You know, you never know, but...
I mean, like, just come around and play it sometime.
Yeah, I'll probably just have a hearing on yours.
Because, like, we can do lots of... Now I have a Switch, we can do much more co-op gaming.
That is going to be fun. You're getting Mario Party as well.
Eventually. The games are expensive, hon.
Yeah. Mario Party's out, though. Hey.
Yeah. I figured Mario Kart was the best one to get right away. Because, like, one of my most favorite Nintendo series is. And, like, I feel like everyone will have it.
Oh, it's the first game I got was Mario Kart because it's, like, immediately, like, play with your housemates.
Well, that's the thing. Play with your housemates, play with your friends. It's a game that has, like, a lot of replayability.
Yep.
I've only played a little bit with you.
Yes.
And a little bit when I was on an artist's residency in Castlemaine. Ooh. And we were staying, one of the members of my art collective, their family friends lent us an Airbnb to stay in for the week for free. And we went to visit them one night, and me and my friend were really stoned. And we just went to, like, with... Okay, I'm not giving names for reasons of privacy.
Yes.
So, like, all 3 of us went to this house.
Yeah.
And then, like, me and my other friend, both of us stoned, saw that there was a Switch
And
and
you-
just immediately sat down and started playing Mario Kart.
That is so good.
And we're just like, we're too stoned to really function or say hi, but we can do this.
Yes.
So
You
those
c-
those
yeah.
are my like 2 experiences.
Wow.
But from what I've played, it's a lot of fun. It's bright.
It's
busy.
bright. It's a lot of fun. The first time I played it on a TV that's much better than my TV, and it was just like the
Hot.
colors blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, this is actually too stimulating.
It's like you get a little bit like, oh my god, what the hell is happening?
I know it's
Because everything like
so much.
the world like always like shifts. Like it's always turning.
It's turning. There's colors. It's like kind of like environments that you can react with
It's really like the steampunks have got into acid, and they haven't
Fully.
looked back.
fully. And the deluxe edition on Switch comes with everything unlocked, which I don't know how I felt about because I like unlocking new characters. But yeah, everything's
So you can't unlock anything new.
vehicles through getting coins, and there's a lot of vehicle customizations.
Oh yeah, because when we played it, we kept unlocking like
all the time.
horrible vehicle parts.
Horrible parts, but like it's constant. Like it just doesn't.
Also, I
stop.
love the Mercedes Benz inclusion.
What the hell is that about?
I know. I mean, Mario and Mercedes, match made in heaven. I would love to see a Mario Mercedes though, like
Yeah.
a Mercedes that's just like shaped like Mario.
Big moustache.
Yeah, like it's got a big moustache on the front, and when you honk the horn, it makes like a typical Mario catchphrase. What does he say? Me oh my, I'm just a boy.
I hate Mondays.
I want my lasagna.
Yeah, lasagna. Oh, I want lasagna.
I wouldn't mind some lasagna too, actually.
Yeah.
You're really going to town on that rubber ducky.
I'm just really fidgeting with the rubber ducky.
It's the new fidget spinner.
Yeah, I am.
It's got a raspy squeak to it.
It does. Apparently, they're really bad to put in the bath.
Just because the chemicals and the hot water?
Because they all the water and filth goes inside the hole and it like builds up heaps of bacteria,
Oh,
which you're constantly like reanimating.
can you get a syringe with Dettol and like rinse it out?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll just pull out my syringe with Dettol.
Sorry,
wasn't
when
gonna
I said
assassinate
syringe,
someone
in
with-
my head I was thinking more of like not a syringe, but like those like you know like those needle things you use to clean your teeth if you've got like to get under the gum. They're like thick. They're not like IV needles.
Ah, right. I mean, I might have syringes, but I don't have any syringes. But I mean that there's lots of reasons why you'd have a syringe.
It's true.
To clean your rubber ducky.
To clean your rubber ducky.
Yes.
With Dettol.
With Dettol. I'm not going to stab anyone in the neck with Dettol.
And then use it to rob a bank.
Yes, and steal $50 electronically. So, I feel like we've covered a lot of ground.
We've hit the ground running. We haven't stopped.
We haven't
Except for when
stopped.
we stopped.
Except when we stop.
I mean, the word vixen's just come up on your computer.
My screensaver, which is like word of the day vibe. Just
I saw
came up with
vixen.
Yeah.
I'm like,
a
I
female
feel like,
fox.
ooh, vixen's a good way to end this episode. A
Oh, you-
vixen's tang.
You nasty vixens.
A vixen's tang.
We'll leave you there hanging.
You've been listening to Fakest Gamer Girls with me, Romy, and my comrade.
In
Brennan.
arms, Brennan. We'll see you next week. What I will leave in the description though
Yes.
will be a link to the Fakest Gamers Girls YouTube, which has no videos, but as of yesterday, I created a playlist of music which I've been using for the ending and beginning themes and break songs of the podcast.
Oh my god, that's excellent.
Because I love listening to game music and incorporating them in the episodes. So I thought I should make a playlist. So I'll leave a link to that and you can follow it. And every week I'll upload the tracks that I put into the episodes.
I really look forward
For
to
your
that.
listening pleasure. I've uploaded the ones I've done so far, but yeah. So
Fuck yeah, that's
click
cool.
on that and have a listen.
Have a listen. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Logging up.